guys, it is me, Lauren Marie, aka Access Lauren, and I am back with another episode of the Recap Lounge. I have this sweet little heart in my lap today because I am missing my co-host Ed, who is not with us again for the second week in a row. Ed, you got one more time and you are fired. Just kidding. But we do have a special guest host in the building today. So without further ado, let's welcome Ashante Harrell. Welcome to the show, Miss Ashante Harrell. We are so excited to have you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm excited to be here. My name is Ashante Harrell, aka Plant-Based Tay, and I am on this season of Ready to Love, which airs in Detroit.
Yes, but before we get into it, Ashante Harrell is a celebrity vegan chef, and she comes bearing gifts. Please talk to us. What we got going on right here?
So, we got a lot going on this holiday season, a lot of sniffles. So I made us a very healthy cheddar broccoli soup. Everything is vegan, even the croissant. I know you love a good croissant.
I do.
Freshly baked from Whole Foods. But yeah, I made a cheddar broccoli soup. Everything is vegan.
So wait, how is it cheddar? I mean, what's the cheesy part?
It's vegan cheese. Yep.
Okay.
Vegan cheese, nutritional yeast, oat milk, and I make like a soupy cheese sauce.
Okay. See, that's the thing.
Not bad.
Every time I hear vegan, I just think like, ugh, no, right? But you know, we've worked together before in the past, and everything that I've tasted from you, it tastes. I mean, I could literally be vegan and not be missing out on anything. Everything tastes like I could eat this and never have broccoli and cheese soup again.
Yeah, really.
That's really good. Thank you very much for bringing that.
You're very welcome.
We will be nibbling throughout the episode, of course. All right, so we have Miss Ashante, guest host today, hostess with the mostest, and we are recapping Ready to Love, Episode 8, Meet the Detroit Friends. We also have a special segment at the end, so make sure you stay tuned the whole time. Ashante Unfiltered. We're going to get into some things, we're going to address some things, and we're going to
spill some tea, honey. We're going to say what was really going on, okay?
Uh-oh. So, with that being said, we're going to start off with the assignment this week was to introduce the men to our friends. But before we get into it, we got to talk about best dress. So, who do you feel was best dressed this episode?
So, I really liked how just about everybody dressed this episode. They like, oh, we meeting friends. We got to put it on. But I feel like Donna was really best dressed for the women because I saw her in the light that I feel like we don't normally see her in.
Which
her confessional outfit with the little things on her yitties. I thought that was just so darling. I thought that was super cute. And then Steve, it's like Steve is just so effortless. And you got to really have a certain type of fashion sense to look that good while also being like so effortless. Like he put it together really good.
And Steve is a master thrifter. So I mean, I never think how stylish he is. I would never think that he is, you know, and then the pieces that he finds, the way he puts it together, it's definitely a true art.
Yeah, art.
But I would say, and my sister and I watched the show last night, our favorite best dressed outfit was actually your outfit during your date when the friends met. Bella.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a black.
Yeah.
It had some type of like, what does it have on it?
So my boots were actually thigh-high boots. And they had the, what do you call them? What the cowboys be having on there?
The little
chaps. And so they went up the side and it also connected to the belt on my pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was hot.
So it was like
and
a whole shebang.
we always love it. So shout out to Best Dressed. Keep it up, keep it going. Detroit is really showing out when it comes to these fashions. So back to our assignment this week. Taking the friends out to meet. I was taking the guys out to meet our friends. Did you have any reservations? Like how are you feeling about that?
I was just hoping that my friends would behave because if you know me in real life, you know my intrusive thoughts win sometimes. And my friends are the same. They don't hold back. We are straight goof troop, okay?
So the first date, you introduced your two besties to Steve, Bello, and Cardi. Talk to us.
Well, what I will say is what I appreciated about my friends is that although we kept it light and funny, they still asked very real questions, the necessary questions, the stuff that I needed to know, they need to know, my mom needed to know, like, what's really going on with y'all? Do y'all really align? I really appreciated how they read the men properly as well.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite things that was mentioned, when somebody, when you asked Bello something, he basically said, like, you know, I don't mind if she's not Muslim. And then your friend's like, ma'am, that's not how it goes. In real life, they say that up front, but eventually he's going to want you to convert. And I thought that was such a good point to make, especially, you know, friends are looking out for your best interest, the long term. And that was a very important thing to. And it's so funny because y'all know I be in the chats. And I saw somebody say, oh, so, because, like, you know, Muslim people, they want their kids to be Muslim. They're like, oh, so they just gonna let the wife go to hell and just the baby and the dad gonna go to heaven. And I'm like, dang, that's why you do need to be
equally yoked in certain, in a lot of stuff.
So I could see that being an issue down the line.
Because I'm not converting, babe. I'm not. Like, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, and
okay. And Cardi and Steve, how did you? Because one of them said Steve, I think first, and the other, like, how did you feel they did during that? The impressions.
I feel like Cardi might have been a little nervous. I feel like he might have been a little nervous thinking that they was going to bring the heat like his ex did. But again, my friends kept it cute. So he that like, man, I don't know what these women, they might be out for blood. But no, I feel like Cardi was just a little bit robotic on that date because maybe he was a bit nervous about the vibe.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. After that date, we see Shannon. She introduces her best friend to Darius, Steve, and Devon.
Girl,
that date was
# poor Shannon. What? Nobody. I feel like nobody stood on business about her. They did. And it's like, are y'all? This Shannon's she just need to go find her a real nice doctor in that hospital.
Okay. I mean, like I said all the time, like if I was a man, I'd be married a long time ago. Like I said, you see a Shannon, you see a Nicole. What are y'all doing?
Like, what are y'all
doing?
Do
you want a wife or you don't want a wife?
Or not? Okay.
Like especially Devon. I'm like
smart, sweet, educated. Like what
nobody
are we
wants
talking
safe anymore. They want, you know, whatever else.
I don't know, whatever it is on TV.
Hillary, what do they call her? Hillary,
Michelle Obama and who was
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hillary.
What's the mama? Claire Huxtable.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's got the pearls. Like, she's sweet, reserved.
That's her real hair. Like, come on. What are we doing? Y'all asleep. Y'all need to wake up.
I don't know why nobody stood on business. And then best friend made a good point. Like, one of the two, one of the three, which one? Because if it was top connection, you would say, this is my top connection.
My number
but
one.
To say, this is one of my top three. It's like.
Top three and I'm not three or what? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What's my number?
Four connections out of 10, and it's just I did wish somebody had said, made it very plain, very clear, Shannon is my pick, but it didn't happen. And her friend said, none of these, I don't recommend none of them.
Flat out none of them. That's a real friend.
Okay,
I don't care what nobody say.
Shout out to the real friends out there.
Flat out.
Next, I have 2 dates actually, which is interesting. My best friends meet Bello and Steve and Vince separately. So when they met Bello and Steve, oh my God, that was my first time seeing Bello come in with his African hookup, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the first time we gonna meet the friend that they gonna look at me like, oh, I never seen you in this type of vibe. So, but they didn't say anything. They just was like, okay, and it's funny because in real life, these dates are hours long. It wasn't 2 seconds, right?
All day.
And when they asked Bello, like, what do you like about Lauren? Aside from the physical, right? Because I think the first thing he said was look at her. And then they're like, well, what else do you like outside of that? When I say the pause in real life was like 30 to 45 seconds of,
poor Bello.
I mean, she lights up a room. They looked at me like, child. And I was like, dang. Have I been blinded by just this need to have this African king in my life that I ain't been paying attention?
And let's talk about that too, because when you talk on the phone with Bello, he doesn't code switch as much like he is on television. Like, he's more of himself over the phone.
Yeah.
He slip up and say certain things, certain phrases, certain words in his native tongue, and you be like,
okay.
you
it's the accent.
You know what you're doing.
So when I'm sitting there hoping and praying, like, say something, Bello, say something good. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
And then,
But one more thing about
Well,
Bello.
uh-oh.
I feel like your friends was not feeling the one night stand thing. They are just like, girl, it's too fresh.
yeah, and then the timeline keep doing some
You
things. But I
know,
said, let me stay. I'm trying to do the.
I
I ain't
feel
gonna
like
say her
they were-
name. I'm trying to do the.
I feel like they were trying to make it make sense for them, and they
Yeah.
just was like, yeah, maybe you're not ready. You don't need to start over.
And something else they clocked. I was like,
They was
dang. I just
clocking it.
keep on. You know how you like somebody, you just keep acting like you don't
Mhm.
see it. They talking about you could be a politician. I was like,
Dodging.
it's the way he answers the questions. it was a couple times the answer wasn't just a straight answer, and they just like, okay, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
they was clocking
who
them. They
cares? Who cares? Just
They was having looks on their face like,
yeah, it was funny. I mean, I wish they would have showed more, but I mean, there's so many dates, and so many things get edited, and it's funny because like people are like probably wondering, how is this your connection? Because you just don't see a lot of the stuff that's happening outside. You don't see the other dates, like you just don't see it all. But you know, these people are actually making connections, even though you don't see everything. So Steve walks in, and when I say this man put me on blast so crazy, so the girls know I have 3 children. I don't need a child. If I was to get married, yes, if my husband wanted a child, I would give my husband a child, right? So when Steve comes in and he says, Lauren already, she said she would give me a girl or something like that. I'm like, I'm kicking him under the table. They like,
I would have been looking like that one lady in the courtroom. I would have been buffering.
I'm like, is that
Who
what I
said
said?
that?
That must have been one of the
Who
long
said
conversations.
that?
You know,
Were we drinking wine on the phone?
I'm like, did I say that? I said I always wanted a girl, but dang, did I tell him I would give you a girl? I said, ooh, I was sweating a little bit, and he
Yeah.
looked at me like, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, volunteering my wound is crazy.
My God. But he was sweet. He was
Yeah.
cool. Then I have a date with Vince.
Dun, dun, dun.
And when I tell you I didn't prep my girls for this date, I didn't tell them anything. I told him how important it was. Like, these are my girls. These are the people we have game nights with. These are the people that I don't ever want to go into a situation where people don't like my guy or they don't want him to be around. Or so I told him, like, I can't wait for you to meet my girls, blah, blah, blah. So I thought he came in with the mentality of, I got to impress these girls. You know, because I would be the same way. Like, if I was meeting your family, your mom, whoever, I'm about to put my
Everybody
best
about
foot
to
forward.
look good.
I BS you not. I mean, the way they edited, it was crazy. But the very first thing that happened was, so how tall are you? I'm 6'2". You sure you 6'2"? Where you getting at with this? What?
I ain't gonna lie. I expected a little more from Vince. I thought he would have been like, yeah, I'm 6'2".
Because he's such a
he's so
comedian.
silly. I really thought he would. I don't know.
No,
Vince had a rough,
I
rough
thought
experience.
he had a sense of humor. Again, and then people are in the chats talking about she put him up to
Girl,
that. Y'all
F them
think that
chats.
at this time, by this time, I don't know how tall Vince is. Like,
them
I don't need my
chats.
girls to ask him y'all ask him how tall he is. That's the most insane thing. I could just ask him how tall he is. They did that on their own because they know how tall I am. They know I love tall. So that's the first thing they asked, lightweight icebreaker. It wasn't like
Right.
that was a deep conversation that was
Let's bring out some tape. Measure
Yeah,
him up.
it was
Like,
not
I
that
really
deep.
thought he would have laughed that off. I was shocked.
When I say we've asked people this 100 times and the answer is usually like 6'2".
Yeah.
You lying?
Yeah.
Did your mama, did your doctor say that? And they just laugh and say, no, I'm for real, I'm 6'2". You
I
know
feel
guys
like
lie.
Vince is at a point where he's just sick of it. He's just sick of it all. He's having a tough time in the process.
I just feel like
He's on the defense every time because he don't know where it's going. He's sick of his words getting mixed up. He's sick of the rumors. He's sick of it.
I think he just likes to debate and try to
That
find this
too.
underlying
That
issue
too,
and
but I
thing.
feel like if
There was
he
no
wasn't under
underlying.
so much pressure, I feel like he would have been more silly about that. I thought it was cute.
I spoke to
Because
Vince about
5'10"
this.
men be like, yeah, I'm 6 foot. It's like, baby,
They
you're
do.
5'10" and
They
it's
do.
okay.
And I spoke to Vince about it, and he said, he's like, no, I just, I wanted to know what you were getting at, and I'm like, literally,
He wasn't about to fall into no traps.
it was not getting at nothing but just how tall
Just
are
a
you. There was
question.
no deep underlying thing. So I will say this was a learning lesson for me because out of the thousands of people I've asked their heights, joked about this, this is my very first time having any kind of like issue, debate, problem. So I'm like, in my mind going forward, be careful about asking men how tall they are, because it could be a soft spot. It could spark a debate. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, 1 out of 1,000 people.
I'm about to say.
It made me go ahead and say, you know what? I need to go and do an experiment. So this is what I did. I went out to the streets of Detroit and talked to several tall men, and I asked them, how tall are you? And then I had to have them reiterate, you sure you that tall?
Let me see your
did
driver's
the doctor
license.
say you was that tall? Yeah, let me see your driver's
say?
license. Just to get their reactions, because I feel like I'm not crazy. I don't think that's a crazy question to ask, and y'all know y'all be lying about your heights. So take a look at what I found out. Hey guys, so I am at my son's basketball game. I felt like this would be the perfect place to find some tall zaddies, ask them their height, and then make them reiterate their height and see how they react. Okay, I just met this good sir. I'm gonna ask him right now. He looks really tall, much taller than me. You guys know I'm 6 feet. How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7"?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Now, did your doctor say 6'7"?
Yes.
Your license says 6'7".
Yes.
Okay, you heard it, 6'7". I just found another tall zaddy. He looks much taller than me. I'm 6 feet. Now, how tall are you?
6'6".
6'6".
Yeah.
Now, are you sure you 6'6"?
Legit 6'6".
Doctor said it.
Doctor
It's
said
on your
it.
license.
It's on my paperwork, license, on the
All
internet.
right, 6'6". Okay, I've located another tall man. I'm gonna ask him his height right now. And look, you can see he's taller than me. I'm 6 feet. How tall are you?
6'3".
Are you sure you 6'3"?
Yes, I'm sure.
The doctor said it.
Yes.
It's on your license.
Yes.
Okay, you heard it first. All right, guys, so you've seen it firsthand right here. It's giving, it's not that deep. I'm gonna go ahead and send it back to Lauren and Ashante. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that right there.
All right.
After those dates though, my girls surprisingly chose Vince as their top option, which I was shocked.
I was shocked.
I was so shocked. But I do want to
Is
mention,
it because he was the tallest?
it is not because he was the tallest. Some things that they didn't share on that date are things that I shared with my friends. I know Vince has this side of kind of like, when I say it was like a roller coaster, it is like a roller coaster. But I will say he does make you feel protected. He does make you feel like a lady. You don't have to open doors around. Vince is a gentleman.
Girl,
He
that
is
cooking date when the man walked in.
I know. He made sure we were safe. He escorted this gentleman out.
He like, okay, all right, get out of here. Gotta go. We got ladies in here. You gotta go.
There's sides of Vince that just have not been shown yet in the show. There's other things going on of why Vince is a good guy, but some of these things are just, you know, it is what it is. But they did pick
We
Vince,
all have
and I
our
was shocked.
things, and Vince just like the.
So next we see Darius and Cardi meet Ashley's best friend. How do you feel like that went?
First of all, shout out to Darius because it was warm that day, clearly, so no fur. He had on a shirt with the yitties out. Look at you. Come on. Suave. I was just happy. Have I ever seen Darius without a fur? I don't know. It was nice to see him without the, you know. And
he had the Timbs on with the skinny jeans, and when I tell you that one part, I feel like editing is so crazy. They showed them on a date and him over there really playing that game.
He was having a blast.
He was more focused on playing that game. I was like, Darius
was having a ball.
The best friend. He's like, I'm gonna win this game.
He like, this my woman already. I think Ashley and Darius are super cute
They
at
are.
this point.
They are cute.
Like, yes, super cute. He like, that's my woman. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah,
We on
yeah.
a date.
We
We
have
having
a good,
fun. Then we
confident man.
come here to play or not.
Yes, and I'm not gonna lie. I think Cardi, just like the other dates, he kind of just fell flat for me. I don't remember what he said. I don't remember what the impression was.
They had concerns about not digging deep, and as someone who spoke to Cardi a lot behind the scenes, I get why you wouldn't want to go so deep. He got a lot of things that I wouldn't share with just anybody.
Okay. Yeah, because our conversations were like, how, do you like black or white, or do you like big or tall?
What's your
Do you
favorite
like
color?
Yeah, it's like very like
Favorite candy?
I don't have time and I gotta go somewhere. I'll be back. Like it's just so I've never gotten deep with Cardi.
Yeah.
But I don't. He just seems like he's just I don't know. But I did see that kiss at the end of Ashley and Darius's date with the best
cute.
friend, and I feel like he, like you said, he's like this
this
mine already. I ain't gotta do
I
too
ain't about to
much
do all
because
that.
may the best man win, Cardi. I ain't worried about you.
That part.
That's what
That's
I gathered.
was giving.
Even the best friend
He
said
over
it.
there golfing, whatever they
Best
was
friend
doing.
is Team Darius. So
Yeah.
then after everything, oh, I'm on a whole different part. Okay, so after this date, we have Donna who introduces Vince and Steve to her best friends.
First things first, I thought Donna looked great. I feel like green is her color. She always looked good in like a
do
soft
like green.
pastel, like yeah, very cute. And overall, I feel like her and Vince seem very compatible.
I do too.
I think they are
I
just
really do.
They work.
They do.
They just
They
work.
do. They do. But it was kind of hard to watch. The best friends again. When you're in something, you like somebody, you have this like veil over your face, and you just see happy. The best friends are not. They don't like him in that way, so they can see from the outside. Hold on, Donna, you got some things you need to consider because when Donna told us her timeline. 3 months I'm moving in. 6 months we babies, all this stuff, and Vince is like,
been there, done that, babe. I'm not in a rush. Got my t-shirt. Wasn't all it was cracked up to be. I'm going to take my time is what I got from it.
And ain't nobody going to force me to push up my timeline. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, Vince. Because sometimes you will for the person that you really want to be
yeah,
with.
Nah.
No?
I wouldn't. I mean, again, but I'm so young, right? I wouldn't be.
Was that shade?
Yes, absolutely was shade. I wouldn't be switching up my timeline either. I don't feel like either one of them are wrong for having a timeline.
Yeah.
But that's a part of compatibility. We think that, just because we can sit and laugh and we have great sex, that, not saying they are, I'm just saying like compatibility is deeper than conversations and physical whatever. It's about lifestyle compatibility, timeline compatibility, family and friends. Like if I come around, is your family gonna like me? Is your friends gonna like me? Like it's a lot that goes into compatibility, and timeline is one of those things.
But it's like we want them to work so bad that it's like I'm trying to not hear what he's saying too for her. Like
I ain't trying to hear it either.
Like he's like, I'm like, and then
It's
the
like,
friends
dang.
peep it. They like, she wants a baby, 100%. So Vince saying, I mean, I could not. They like, that's a little concerning, But I think that comes with he's open to it. So if you guys get to a point in your love life where he's like, I'm madly in love, this woman want a baby, I'm gonna give her a baby. Like, I think that's good I think he's being honest. I think he's being transparent.
He's leaving it up to the woman. Okay, if you want a baby, come on. I'll pop one up in you. But if you don't, I done already had mine. I didn't live that life. My kids are nearly grown. I'll start over for the right person. But but if I find a woman who don't want to start over, best believe we outside.
And just also
Or
knowing
at the gym.
Donna's intentions when they say, do you want to be married? And his hesitation, that was a huge flag for them. They were like, and then he says, are they like, are you dating with intention to get to know somebody? I'm like, oh shit, Vince, you are not saying all the right things.
It's timelines. Again, what by this time it's been 21 days.
And that's the thing.
Do
People
I
don't know. People
like
don't
y'all
realize
be
this
seeing
is
week
such a
8 and it
short-
was literally 23 days. Like, do you know if you want to marry somebody?
That's the thing. People
Should he have said like, okay, I'm open to marriage, is just about finding the right person?
No, he should have. Like, if you come on a show called Ready to Love, you should be ready to love. And Ready to Love is not ready to play around. Not saying he is or ready to try to. You can get to know people outside the show. These are people that have like intentions on finding their love. I think he should have said, yeah, I want to be married.
Yeah.
I do think he should have said that. But,
Yeah.
Then.
If that's what he wants, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody doesn't see marriage the same either.
Especially if you've been
You
there.
could say you want to be with somebody for the rest of your life, be faithful, loyal, devoted, honest, caring, nurturing with this person, and still not want to walk down no aisle or sign no papers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
But then you got people who walk down the aisle signing papers and the marriage is dirt. So it's like, what is marriage?
But I
in
feel
your
like
mind?
Donna's the type of woman. She wants
She
that
want
paper
yeah,
signed.
she
Okay?
want that paper signed. She
want
want to walk
them
down the
eggs
aisle. She want that
cracked.
dress. She
Yes.
want her name dropped. What New York say?
So, Steve walks in with all the right answers. Well, except the 2-year situation. But they could work on that. They can work
Again,
on that.
yeah, they will have to figure out their timelines.
So Steve walks in. They it seems like he's got making a good impression. And then they say, "Do you want to be married?" Absolutely, Miss Donna Banks.
Yeah. Oh, Steve was. Let me tell y'all something about Steve.
I texted him like, "Donna Banks."
Listen. Steve got all of us messed up. Steve is Mac Zaddy, okay? Steve is macking, and it's nice to see him in his element where I feel like he thrives on dates where it's just him. And he's not like group dates.
He want a baby with me.
Because he was in there.
He want to give Donna his last name.
He want to travel the world with me, Mr. Homebody. Like, please stop.
You into poly, Steve?
He need to be on here. Girl.
Don't let me.
Can I tell you something he said behind the scenes?
I'm scared.
We would have to cut. I feel like we would probably have to cut the clip though, because it's about
Just
something.
tell me after. Tell me after.
Girl,
But
Steve is a Mac Zaddy.
Stevie.
Steve.
Okay, come on, bro. And then Miss Donna Banks. So he talking about, yeah, I want to be married.
Donna Banks. That sound like, hey.
Hey,
that's a
it sounds
name.
good. There's a ring to it. But he not on the 3-month plan. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
said about 2 years. But he does seem intentional. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to be married, and I do want a child.
He just want to make sure it's right.
Mm-hmm. He's not rushed. He's very
But then,
careful.
Steve, do you really need 2 years?
You
No
don't
shade,
need 2
no
years.
tea. Like,
You don't need 2 years.
we ain't getting no younger.
Mm-mm.
Do you need 2 years?
You don't need. He need more than 3 months, but not 2 years.
Yeah, I feel like they could. I feel like if they could meet in the middle,
And I think they could.
That would
because
be a
Donna
nice-
seems like a reasonable person.
yeah.
So now we get to this very heated date, which it was
Oy.
nails on a chalkboard, hard to watch for
Oy.
me. Dominique introduces Devon, Cardi, and Bello to her friends.
Hashtag
Ooh.
poor Devon.
Poor Devon.
Oh God, he like his feelings were so hurt on that date. And I don't know if it's because I'm about to get my cycle or what, but I'm like, oh my God, Devon, I'm going to tear up with you. What's going on? He looks so
People
hurt.
keep telling him to stick to the rivers and the lakes that he's used to,
I mean,
and it's safe. It's
imagine
safe
being
there.
a kid in a candy store. Imagine being a man who's 10 gorgeous ladies. You know,
People you never would run across in any other
I
circumstance.
mean, I don't
You
know.
gonna
I wouldn't
shoot your
say that.
shot.
His ex was beautiful.
She was beautiful,
But
all the girls are beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's the different type
of yeah.
you know. And I think he's seen something shiny.
But I don't know. I feel like his ex was turned though. She came in blonde wig, stylish. Like
need to get back with his ex.
They didn't seem. No shade, no tea. Devon, you know you look great. I just saw him recently. I'm like, wow, you look great. But it's like their aesthetics didn't quite match to me when I saw the ex. But I'm like, Devon, cool. Y'all ever said him on the phone talking to Devon?
Yeah, he's cool.
Devon,
And he got a great voice.
What?
Yeah.
Love talking to Devon.
Yeah.
So
And he's big and tall.
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he could stick to the rivers and the lakes that he used to, or maybe he can jump in that
fall
water
and hit his head.
and see what else he can't snap. And I'm just saying, with an ex like that, I would try it. I would go for the gold. You miss every shot you don't take.
Well, I'll say this again. I don't remember Cardi in this date. He just
Let me tell y'all something. Cardi bought half a dozen roses and just passed them out at all his dates. Like, he walked in with a few roses. Ooh, piece of candy.
and he
Ooh, piece of
wrapped them
candy.
all individually. And
No,
I'm not mad at that.
No, I think he bought them individually because they was all different colors. I feel like, he just bought half a dozen roses and said, I'm going to pass these out to the ladies, which I thought is sweet, but it's just funny.
So Cardi coasted through the date. I didn't feel that he was rising to the top or the bottom. He's just there. And
Yeah.
he's happy to be there is from my vibe, what I'm getting. Bello walks in and
Ooh-wee.
it's like, is
Boss
there
Bello.
anybody else on this date? The way
Yeah.
she
Bello is going to assert his presence every single time.
even the ladies, the
And
girls
even-
was looking at him
yeah.
like, oh, he
Yeah.
has arrived. It was very
Yeah.
obvious that
Yeah.
that's the one.
Bello don't play.
And
Like,
Devon was sitting over there like,
he was ready to pick. I'm like, what he about to do with that butter knife? Devon, behave. What you about to do?
And I saw somebody else. They made a good point. They were talking about, he was kind of like criticizing Nicole for. I don't know if they said he was. Yeah, he was. They said he was. I didn't see it, but they said he was criticizing Nicole for saying, "I only want." You having these kind of tendencies, and then you see him over here in the corner now looking across the table like, I'm like,
he should have stood on business. Him and Bello should have been head to head with the my girl. What happened
But
to
you know
Dominique's
what?
my boo? He needs
You
to get a
know
shirt.
what?
Dominique's my boo.
I wasn't there, but I feel like one of the things people don't take into consideration is we're in this one dimension looking at the screen. You're not in it. You don't feel the energy. You don't see how the vibes are with people. One thing that I did notice, and this is just my opinion, is this is probably the first time Dominique has ever gave him this type of energy. Like, you keep in mind, he's sending flowers to her job, buying her gifts, whatever they got going on. This is the first time he's probably ever seen this attitude of like, what's up? What's up? And I'm like, damn, he probably deep down inside is thrown off.
And it's a group date with her other connections.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ooh, we not.
So yeah, and so this is the
You
first.
too happy to see him.
Interaction. And then it's happening in front of the girlfriends, in front of the guys.
And everybody looking at him like, so what
his
up?
confidence
What you gonna
is
do?
off because he don't even understand where the energy is coming from between them two. So it's one thing if you feel strong, like y'all connection is tight, and now you could be confident, but he probably not even confident because of the way that their dynamic is. It's like, dang. So it did seem like they was kind of giving it to him. I felt bad. His whole time, Dominique is my top. Dominique.
My
and
strongest connection.
We hear with everybody else, and it's like, what's up? Stand on business. And I'm like, damn, I could imagine if I was him, I would feel kind of like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
I would probably feel the same way. I probably would have handled it different. In front of them, I probably would have been a whole,
I would have cried in the car.
like, like bring it on, bitches.
Yeah.
But when the car, like, fuck Dominique, man.
My grandmama got me that chain. Listen, I feel like, again, Bello, though, when he walks in, even on my friend day, he walked in, he like, hey, how y'all doing? Ladies, why are y'all glasses empty? He grabbing champagne, pouring us champagne on my date when he walked in last. I'm like, Bello don't play. So he probably, again, they probably clipped out some stuff. Bello probably walked in there and was like, hey, baby, come here, get up, give me a hug, give me a kiss. You my girl.
And then she didn't even make him no sushi. So he just like, you know what?
He like, this the second time. It's the second time I don't feel catered to.
Playing in my face.
Hashtag poor Devon.
So, of course, the friends, excuse me, y'all, this is some good food. Make sure y'all order.
I'm trying not to have food in my teeth, but the way he back
is it
there
in there? Doug don't be paying attention to the cameras. I just, after we watch it, I see all this stuff, and I'm like, come on, man.
What's going on?
All right, so friends were in favor of Bello, obviously. They did not like Devon. Devon didn't make the right impression on them. Dang, that's two people. That's Shannon's person didn't like him either, and now Dominique's person. We're left on a cliffhanger after this. Starting next episode, the girls are going to be taking some of the guys out. Probably doing an elimination is what I'm guessing, right? I don't know because they didn't really tell us, and you know how they've been doing little surprises. Two guys got eliminated once, like, so I don't know. Maybe they won't eliminate a guy this time. We really don't know. So I don't know. I just know that wasn't a good day for him. No, and he
was in a room with people with a lot of people with very strong personalities.
And before we wrap up the portion of the recap, I do want to mention next week's preview looks a little bit crazy. We're already at the getaway. And
time is flying.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to follow these. Like, what's going to happen at this point? Because there's only, a couple people who have established, like, this is my person. This is my person. So I'm foreseeing some things happening.
Yeah, well, everybody gonna have to really stand on it when it's time to be in that house and you really see what's going on.
Oh yeah. And then I saw Darius and Shannon having a conversation about how he used to date a stripper.
I dated an adult entertainer.
Shannon's like, what's
sweet
that?
Little Shannon, what's that?
She's like, that doesn't sound good. I'm like, oh my God.
She said,
Darius.
oh, that's your tape. Dance up for money.
But Shannon seems like the type that I have a whole pole in her beard.
Okay,
People acting
do
like
what
she
you
don't got
want
no.
me to
And then it looks like me and Vince and I have a little heated discussion, so I
Mhm.
can't wait to see it. Why the
Yep.
camera angles got to be like that,
You about
y'all?
sick
Why
of
y'all
Vince
gotta
mess.
do that?
You so sick of Vince
Anyway,
mess.
I'm so anyway. So now we're gonna move on to our final segment, which should be the best segment.
We gonna see.
We have Ashante Unfiltered. Okay, so this is all about Ashante for all of you all who have so many questions and who is Ashante? Where she come from? And well, here we go.
Gonna learn today.
Mr. Ashante, take us back to the first mixer. First impression. How are you feeling walking in?
I ain't gonna lie. First impression walking in, honey, I was like, okay, none of these men are my style. Great men, had great conversations. I can recall having a great conversation with Ed, Chris, Darius, Cardi, even Devon. We talked a lot about music and art, but I was just like, are any of these men my husband? And I thought to myself, that's your problem now.
Exactly.
Your type ain't walked you down nobody's aisle, so you need to open up and get it together. But I was very jittery first day. Like, I'm feeling jitters now just talking about it. Oh my God. I was very shy, very jittery the first day. So first impression was like, let me just survive the day without fainting or having a panic attack.
And you mentioned your type. What is your type typically?
So I'm big on energy, right?
Yeah.
I like a very bossy, confident man.
Boss-bello?
It's less about right after he took the hair off. It was like so.
Because I was telling you, like, I suggested that, and you're like, I suggested that he removed his hair.
Because he was like celebrity crush. I'm like, I like Rick Ross energy. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, if you
have
were
a crush on Rick Ross?
energy wise, I don't know what type of scandals he been in, so don't hold that against me. I don't follow Shade Room. I don't know this man's life, but like his energy is just bossy. Like,
okay.
And I was telling Bello, like, you know, if you was to go bald, you would give like boss,
Bello,
you know.
baby.
So my type is typically a man who is just confident. I love a confident man. That way, when you come into my life, you're not trying to humble me and how I feel about myself. You got to be confident. You got to be a leader. Because again, I could be a bit of a jalapeno. So you got to come like, all right, girl.
Okay. Exactly. Wow. Okay. So during that first mixer, I did notice, I think they put a clip on the OWN network with you had like a little feisty jalapeno pepper argument or debate with Chris. And it was about feminine, masculine energy.
Oh, yeah.
How did you feel that conversation affected the way you viewed Chris? Was he ever
I just feel like, say if we're having a debate about an actual topic, I feel like it's important to allow people to speak, right? So if I'm trying to explain a point to you and you're getting tripped up on my first 3 or 4 words without allowing me to continue my statement, it's like, all right, this ain't fun no more. Like, I let you talk, let me talk. And I feel like with that conversation, I think Chris was confusing masculine energy and feminine energy with boy versus girl. Male versus female, because we all embody both energies,
right?
And depending on what you're doing is what energy you're embodying. And I feel like that was the point I was trying to get across, but it was more so like he was viewing it as like, this is what girls do and this is what boys do.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did talk more about, Chris has talked about how he is a conversationalist.
Yeah.
And Donna made some mention to him talking a lot too. So you're kind of confirming same thing.
Love Chris though. He was cool. We had great
and
combos.
Chris is awesome, man.
Yeah.
And yes. So how did you feel when you're selected for the second chance mixer, like Misfit Island? Like, how did you feel when they called your name? Like,
girl, I'm like, me going to Misfit Island? What? I'm not surprised. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, why weren't you surprised?
I was not surprised because again, that first day I was just like very closed off, very I'm an observer, and I realized like in a process like this, you don't got time to be observant. In real life, when you dating a man, you can be observant. But here, honey, you need to pop out and make an impression. And since I was so used to, again, dating men who have this very confident, bossy energy where I sit, I listen, I allow them to, you let a man speak long enough, he gonna tell on himself. But in this process, the man wanted you to reciprocate. They wanted you to put some pep in that step.
Yeah,
so Misfit Island, I wasn't surprised. I ain't gonna lie.
Because that is one thing I kept hearing, like, Shantae's not, you know, she's not asserting herself, or it was just like basically like you're just like, and I do see that. You know, I'm an observer too, and I think that's why people are like, well, who does she like? I'm not used to being sold this. I'm used to peeping the scene out, and that's, so I totally understand that. I feel like, you know, through the season up to this point, actually not to this point, but the first few episodes definitely were a slept on character. Like they felt like you was just coasting through. But again, editing is not showing everything, every interaction. But we do know, obviously, you're here and you're here for a reason. I want to ask you, because I saw a clip and it looked like Xavier was cussing you out. What was that about? It was like a clip where he was like, something. And you was like, and I'm like, I know Ashante didn't get cussed out. What did we have on? It was a preview. It was like, you were at Misfit Island, but Xavier was next to the window.
Oh, he was like, this better be good because I'm petty.
Yeah, and then you were sitting there like,
I honestly feel like that was probably clipped up because Xavier ain't ever talked to me like. Xavier is very, very sweet. Like he you know, he a mess talker, and he, you know, we've had some fun banter, but like he ain't ever just talk to me like
he
that.
Will not
so that probably was clipped up.
He will not spin around.
Yeah, he
for
ain't
you,
having
but
that.
he cool.
He's a man's man.
So
you know?
Let's fast forward to the date that you had at Cooking with Q, where you hosted myself, Cardi, Vince.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about this conversation you had with Vince. Okay. What was going on? Or do we need to take it back to even this conversation of 50-50 and how that came about? Because there's chatter basically alluding to the idea that Ashante is immature. She's childish for talking about 50-50. Dead this conversation. Like how do you feel about that? Okay. And then your interaction with Vince right after that.
So again, we were so early in the process that I don't remember exactly who said it. But somebody said that Vince was a 50 boy. So rather than me running around, was a 50 boy. So rather than me, so rather than me running around being like, oh, okay, yeah, I went straight to Vince at the skating party and was like, you know, I heard this about you, but I would like to hear it from the horse's mouth because, again, we haven't had that many conversations.
And a 50 boy means that he
likes to go
50-50 with his woman.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel a woman should contribute to your household? And that's when he said, well, you know, if she's okay with what I got going on, then she don't got to contribute. But if she's not, go get you a job, baby. And I didn't disagree. Okay. Because remember that it was at the skating rink. It was like 10 of us having that conversation.
It was like 10
it was
of
a lot
us.
of
they
us.
Just show being you, kind of talking to him about it. So, and then you completely understood where he was coming from the first time he explained it. And then they showed you again at Cooking with Q, like as if you didn't understand it. And it seemed like you did understand what he was saying, but they kind of still made it out to be an issue.
Because I feel like with that conversation, okay, so in the actual clip on what they aired, he walked over and said, what are some things I need to work on? The 50-50 conversation was not my response to that. Okay. My response to that was, how do you feel about personal growth? And he like, well, what do you mean financially? I'm like, no, in all aspects. Like I said, you can come off as stuck in your ways. I'm like, what are some things that you do to, you know, better yourself? And he like, oh, I read books and I help with kids and I do this and I do that. And so we talked about how we read some of the same books. And I was like, oh, you should, you know, I'll give you some books. You give me some books. I like to read. Okay. And then he was like, so where did that 50-50 rumor start? Oh. And then we got back into that conversation because I'm assuming that after that conversation he was still getting flack because remember it was 10 of us talking, and most people agree with how Bello felt and how this guy felt, that guy felt. And so when we were having the conversation at the Cooking with Q, he added a few things that he didn't say at the skating rink. So I was like, no, that's not what you said. I'm like, you said this part but you didn't say that part. He like, well, had you listened? And I said, you got it. You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Okay, all right, but now we're all on the same page. Yeah. And for the record, Bello said his wife ain't paying for nothing
at all, and if it ain't enough, he gonna go get some more.
How do you feel about 50-50?
As far as
like, would you get with a guy that's like, we doing 50-50?
I've never been in a situation like that. I've lived with a couple guys, and I've never been in a situation like that. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I feel like if I'm a gazillionaire, my man is a gazillionaire. We're more like a team. We're a power couple. But if we both got to work because we got to be together 50-50 to survive, maybe we need to focus on a little more than shacking up and fucking to. Oops. shacking up to both go half. If we gotta go half, that's insane.
Okay, got you. So, can you talk about you and Steve's connection up until this point? Like,
first of all, Steve be macking so to see stuff on TV. Y'all gonna have me text this man like, excuse me. Me and Steve up until this point, I feel like he's the only person who has made me feel very comfortable being myself.
Okay.
Reason being, right? I sit with Xavier at Full Throttle. Y'all gotta go watch the extra clips. They be dropping extra clips. Go watch the extra clips. It's a clip of me and Xavier, and he like, so what's up? How you feel about me? And I'm just like, okay. Then with Devon at Misfit Island, he sits on the couch. Rate me. What would you rate me? 1 through 10. How you feel about me? All right. It seems like most of the men that I'm talking to are looking for validation. Vince walks up. What do I need to work on? It's like, bruh, it was all like, validate me, validate me, validate me. Steve was more so like, let me get to know you. I want you to get to know me. Let's have a conversation. It was it just felt like a very light, gentle exchange of energy. It wasn't like, let me sit down and like tell this girl to tell me how she feels. I need to know. It came off as very it didn't come off as codependent as I felt like some of the other guys were coming at me. Like I run from that type of energy.
I like that. Yeah. I like the date you guys went on with the tie-dye. Steve's kind of artisty, you guys. I think that was a really cute
we had a blast.
I have to ask because inquiring minds want to know, are you here for love? Are you in a space where you want to get married? Because people are like, Ashante ain't ready for love. Ashante ain't ready to love. And I'm like, dang, y'all, like not everybody's going to be kissing everybody or telling everybody everything they want to hear. Some people are not, like you said, you're trying to peep the scene, but can you just for the record let people know, are you here to find a husband?
Apparently I'm here to party, but no. I'm here to find a husband, but my thing is this, right? I was raised by a very, very, very strong man, and I was taught that you don't give everything to everybody. You save the best parts of yourself. Like, God forbid you give everything to a man you just dating or you messing around with. What's going to be special when you do lock it down with a husband, right? Yep. So I save the best parts of myself for people who I feel like makes sense. Okay. If I don't see a future with you, or if I'm still getting to know you because I've been knowing you for 11 and a half days, I'm not allowing the process to force me into like, oh, I'm about to start chasing, or I'm about to start doing what I gotta do to stay here and make these people like me. I'm gonna be myself, and if you like me, you do, and if you don't, you don't. And that's how you find who is for you, by being your full authentic self.
Absolutely. You have a oh, okay.
What?
I thought you had something on your face for a second. Okay, so we're already episode 7, which I said Ashante is the star of episode 7. Okay,
which
this
one
is
was
the
that?
Ashante show.
Meet the Ex.
I think it was Meet the Ex. Okay. The way they did you, girl. And this Meet the Ex date with Cardi. Talk to me, because you came in looking open-minded and ready to meet an ex, and all of a sudden it was just wham.
Yeah.
Bring us back.
So before the date, Cardi's like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, it's going to be great vibes. Like, he's prepping me in a way where it's like, expect positive vibes, right? So I'm like, perfect. I'm excited. He like, I told her all about you. Like, it's going to be great. Yeah. So I walk in. We have an awkward hug because her drink almost spilled on me. So I'm like, whoa. And then she asked me my name and how to pronounce it. And she was like, okay, so what's up? Tell me about you and Cardi. I say 3 words and she running like, that's your dog. What do you mean? And I said, well, I think it's important to build friendship first. As a woman who's constantly lusted over, you get sick. I know you want to sleep with me. That's why I know you do. Can we talk about something else? Because I don't got it. Last man ate it all. Coochie all dried up. It ain't nothing there. It's gone. So with that being said,
so you the end of this episode.
Listen, last man ate it all. Next topic, like, gotta grow it back. Is just planted the seed, babe. I'm gonna need till about spring. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what man don't want to sleep with a woman he's interested in? I don't want to sit up here and talk about it. So she's like, I need to know. She was like, do you want to F him? I said, oh. Shannon said, Dominique said, oh. Cardi over there trying to hold in his laughs. I'm like, yeah, you ain't slick. I see what y'all doing. So I was like, well, I don't have to sit up on the phone with Cardi and just be like, yeah, Cardi, I want to F you. And I'm like, and even if I did, Wouldn't that be between me and Cardi? Like, why would I say that in front of like cameras and national TV and other dates and his ex? Like,
and you would assume you obviously have physical attraction. There
is a time and a place, honey, and this is not the time nor the place. So I'm like, girl, I've been knowing this man for 19 days. Next question, like, can the topic be off of my private parts and what I want to do with him?
What did you say?
I'm not about to sit up and talk about my coochie with strangers. Yes, like that makes no sense.
It was something you said. I could sleep with anybody. I can go fuck a man right now. She said, which man?
I was like, wait, let's be real. As women, any woman on this earth can walk out the house in 60 minutes and lay down with a man in 61 minutes. And I'm not saying that that's a flex because, hey, men are men.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, again, why is this so important? Like, I just get sick of feeling like I'm constantly being lusted over. I don't have nothing for y'all. What do you be saying? You celibate, abstinent? I don't know the proper word. I just know I ain't did nothing in a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
And I won't be doing nothing until I feel like we are going to be in a mutually monogamous relationship and we're working towards something serious.
I love that. So when they showed the scene, though, it looked like you was like, trying to get your like.
Well, in a
what
sense,
really happened?
Well, so in a sense, again, crazy process. That was probably like my 5th date that day. I was in the process of moving. I'm dragging around makeup bags, duffel bags. I'm like, bro, I'm losing my voice. I'm exhausted. So no, I was not about to yell over her.
Yeah.
But they was hooting and hollering.
How did you feel about the fact that Cardi kind of allowed that interaction to happen? Like, did you want? Should he have?
In that moment, I was thinking, okay, Cardi, you need to step up and get control over this situation. Because for me to tell you, I've been working on myself. I've been working on a jalapeno. I've been working on this and that. And you deliberately put me in a situation where you thought you was going to trigger me enough to make me show my behind, my bare black behind on TV is insane. So you either wanted me to tuck my tail or show my ass. And since I didn't do either, plan backfired. Don't know what they had planned. But it's like, control the situation because you see I'm not going for it. So like just calm it all down because the date we went inside and it was still more of, well, do you want to be with this man for the rest of your life? I'm like, girl, I've been knowing this man for 19 days. I don't know. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you asked Dominique to tell you about herself. You asked Shannon to tell you about herself. You asked me, do you want to fuck Cardi? What are we talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that insight. Next, we have Meet the Ex Date with Vince. And after everything, she said Ashante is at the bottom. She's the last option. And it seems like they were under the impression that because you have a lifestyle that, you know, you go out, you do things, that you may be a little more immature or not in a space to have a relationship. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's less about maturity level and again more about lifestyle compatibility. It's more to compatibility than just I like you, you like me, I think you cute, you think I'm cute. It's about lifestyle because my parents, my mom, my stepfather are in their 50s and you go over their house and they got pictures at this party, that party, Christmas parties, like they got on their costumes, ugly sweaters, they on cruises, they out of town. Like I want a man who wants to get up and get out of the house. My favorite part about being a girl is putting on hair and makeup and dresses and taking cute pics that I'm never gonna post. You know, like I want to be out. My grandfather, he was an entertainer. My family, that's just part of our life. I've been outside all my life, so I kind of just want to see the world.
And my family is very similar because I get that all the time. Like people, first and foremost, like if I'm single, I'm outside.
If I'm
like,
with a man,
why would I be,
we outside.
Yeah, why would I be just in the house doing nothing? And people say, I think you ain't got nobody because you always out. I'm enjoying myself.
How you know I'm not out with somebody?
How does that make me a bad person?
It's so easy to hide.
I like to do things. And like you said, I got family members that like, where we going today? What we doing tomorrow? Where we at? So I don't think it comes down to maturity. It comes down to lifestyle.
Because even my daughter, it'll be a random Tuesday in the summer. She out from school, babe. We're play hopping. We going to Zap Zone. Then we going to the trampoline park. Then we might go to the movies. Then we might go to Target because kids love Target. Like we outside. We outside. So if you want to sit in the house while we go do that, he can.
That's why I said I was thinking that's not a fair assessment to say because somebody doesn't have the same lifestyle as I do that they are immature because
my parents in their 50s, I know they ain't immature, but they, they again have similar interests. They like to go out and see the world.
Gotcha. Then you have this really cool date with Bello and his best friend and Dominique. I like the fact that y'all connect on an intellectual level. He walks you out, all this good stuff. But what I want to know is, during that time, did you know that he was giving PDA to other connections? Were you aware?
During that time, no, I did not.
So how did you feel seeing that back, seeing your connection growing, but then seeing him kissing somebody else in the mouth?
I thought, you know what? That's part of the process.
Okay.
Looking back is a difference in what I would have done in that moment. Like in that moment, had I known, I would have been like, I don't know, like you a little in too deep for me. I feel like I have boundaries. So, if we all in this process and you know, kissing, that's very intimate to me. It seemed like you made your choice, and like what I look like in real life,
Yeah.
But I feel like that's part of the process. So, hey.
Yeah. Because I thought I
didn't feel any, I don't know.
Well, for me, I feel like I had boundaries that I spoke to my connections about. And I said, if you decide to do A, B, C, and D with one of these ladies, just let me know because I'm not going to be
gracefully.
Yeah, because and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you feel and the moment comes and you feel like that's what you need to do, do it. But also allow me the space to understand what's happening so that I can then have the choice to remove myself if I'm not comfortable with that. And kissing was one of those things for me. I'm like, if you're going to be swapping saliva with other people on this show, that's a different level for me.
Yeah, it just feel like, you made a choice. I feel like if I was on the show and I kissed a man, not saying that people was kissing multiple people because they weren't, but I just feel like once you kiss, it's like you can't keep kissing. So it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? You made your choice.
And that's fine.
That's okay. That's why we came here to find somebody.
And that's totally fine. Just allow people the option to, So I was shocked myself looking back and seeing some of these things. Like, when was that happening? Why didn't you tell me? Like, I could have made this real easy for y'all. End of show. It's over. And so I know you had an elimination date with Bello, and I was like,
girl, look, first of all, I'm so delusional. Had no idea I was going on a bubble date. I'm like, oh, get to see Bello. Let me get
I thought you handled it so classy. I would have been upset. I'm like, what you got me here for?
I'm telling you, I was so delusional. Like,
you accepted
I've
the
had
feedback.
a great time. Like, I'm about to get cute, go out. We going to a little low key spot. I ain't got to get too dressed up. Like, I was, I was.
You accepted
excited.
the feedback so gracefully. He snatched you over to him. I was like,
look at him doing the PDA. We said we don't like.
Right. Come on, Bello.
Yeah.
I think that at this point where we are is he's kind of feeling torn. Like, dang, I want this, but I kind of like this too. So I'm just curious to see how that all works
when
out.
When it comes to the feedback that Bello gave, I took it because it's like, I get it. Don't no man want to hear that. But again, had I been allowed to speak on the date, it would have made more sense. So when I told him, like, I'm sick of being lusted over, he like, okay, I get that. I understand that. He was like, so just maybe pick different language. Okay. And I said, okay, I get that. Like, I get that. Because I feel like if I tell somebody I don't want to talk about sex, they should be like, okay. And if somebody be like, I don't want you calling me your homie, I should be like, okay. It ain't that big of a deal.
Exactly. Yeah. So was there anything that we missed, like, that you want to kind of touch on, like, in these last 8 episodes that you may want to kind of just comment on or give some feedback? Some things you may have seen out in the blogs, out in these chats. Anything you want to address? This is your moment.
I don't think so. Honestly, truly, you know me, I don't give a damn. So it's like, I might have seen some things and went right over it. Because again, when you're in this type of setting, you have to know the edit is going to be the edit, right? Be self-aware and self-assured enough to know, like, you wasn't there. You didn't see the whole thing. Yeah. I know who I am. So if you are saying something about me, it's either untrue or it's something I already realized about myself that I'm either working on or don't care to fix.
Got
So
it.
it's like, yeah, keep talking. Say my name right.
Ashante.
Thanks.
So what are you doing these days? Are you any projects, anything that we can support?
Well, these days, focusing on the salon. I've been very, very, very booked. So I appreciate you working with my schedule, girl, because I literally got to go to work when I leave here. So I've been focused on that, with the cosmetic tattooing, doing a lot of traveling and a lot of cooking. And then soon I will be dropping some, digital products and some digital things. Y'all can catch me online running my mouth. So just stay tuned. Follow me on all socials to keep up. Busy gal. I like to stay busy. And so, yeah, I always got something in my sleeve. You never know. Shoot, I don't even know. Sometimes I be like, dang, okay.
Yeah, and so I was gonna say, yeah, how can people get a hold of you? I know you have the vegan chef thing going on. I make orders. Like, how can people find you, make orders, support your business?
Yep. So, social media platforms are all my first and last name, Ashante Harrell. Email address is in the bio. Phone number is in the bio. Yeah, every single platform you can find me under the same exact name.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you for
Yes,
coming.
ma'am.
Thank
We
you
had
for
a ball.
joining. Yes, and make sure you guys tune in to the next episode of the Recap Lounge. We film every Saturday morning after each episode. Make sure you follow me on all my platforms at Access Lauren. Click like, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and we cannot wait to see